Good morning, everybody. Pete Cohen here. Good to see you. It is the 16th of August, which is a very, 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 very special day. It's a very special day because it's somebody's birthday. And I'm sure it's lots of people's birthdays today. Good morning, everyone who is now joining me on Instagram. You guys are firing in on Facebook. It is, can we all sing a massive happy birthday to my dear mum? I'm not going to ask her age because I don't actually know, and it's not important, right? All that is important is she is my mum. She is my one of my major sources of inspiration. And I'd really appreciate it. Let's just all sing to her. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear mommy. Happy birthday to you. I know you're watching, and thank you so much for being my major source of inspiration and for teaching me so much. You have been one of my biggest teachers by an absolute mile. I've learned so much from you. I've learned some good things. I've learned some things which maybe aren't so great, but you taught me the best you possibly could, and I am who I am today because of you. And I think today is a day where we should give thanks to all the people that have helped us. I think that's something that we very rarely do. When was the last time you went up to someone and said, hey, thank you very much? That's one of the biggest reasons there's so much stress at work, is people feel undervalued. And when they feel undervalued, they feel not quite good enough. And it doesn't take much to sometimes make someone feel good just by acknowledging them and thanking them. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you guys being here. You don't have to be here. I'd appreciate it if you guys share this, as you know, because we get this information out to the whole world. Everyone's showing so much love to my mum, and we should show huge amounts of love to my mum. Because if it wasn't for my mum, I obviously wouldn't be here. But also, I wouldn't be the person who I am today. Because one of the things that my mum taught me so well is there's an answer to everything. And when we talk about stress, and this is day 3, we've called it conquering stress. You can never conquer stress. I should have really pulled this week how to use stress more effectively. There have been a couple of things that we've said. We've dropped a couple of thought bombs, mind bombs this week in terms of changing your perspective, because people only change when their perspective changes. And my challenge to all of you is to fully immerse yourself in this. Most of you won't. That's okay. You'll just pay lip service to it because that's what you've done to most things all of your life. Most people pay lip service to being the very best that they can be, but that's okay. You don't have to do that. You can be anything that you want to be. You've heard me say this so many times, but maybe sometimes you'll hear it a number of times until you get to the point of really getting it. I mean, right now, let's just be honest. How many of you are really listening to what I'm saying? You're not, because you're talking to yourself. That's all right. You were just going, what's he going to say next? And then when you're talking to yourself, in most cases, you know what you're doing? You're causing stress to yourself. When was the last time in your head you went, hey, listen, you're amazing. You're fantastic. What can we do here? Or is it, this is one of the things when we look at stress, we have to recognize if we want to take our lives to another level, is be aware of stress is doing something. Stress is we are doing something. It's something is happening to us. We are doing it to ourselves. Unless someone's physically pushing you down or, trying to hurt you in some way, you are doing the stress to you. If you want to take ownership of that, it's one of the most powerful things you'll ever do in your whole life. It's something you are doing to yourself. When people say, oh, this person's really stressing me out. What? Excuse me? How exactly are they doing that? Stress is an incredibly powerful energy, and it's an energy that you can use. So there's a couple of things I would really encourage you to write down, because if you write something down, you're imprinting something that you actually just might remember, as opposed to it's gone. There are 2 words. Actually, there are more than 2 words. Well, actually, there are 2 words: control and uncontrol, or in control, out control. Yeah, in control, out control. That's more than 2 words. Right? What's in your control and what is out of your control. One of the biggest reasons people really suffer with stress is they worry about things that they have no control over. So become more aware than you've ever become in your whole life as to where your attention goes. Because if your attention is going on to things that you don't have control over, guess what's going to happen to you? You're going to feel uncomfortable, and that uncomfortableness builds up and builds up and builds up and builds up until something happens. You react in a way that you don't want to react. Have you ever reacted in a way that you don't want to react? Maybe other people haven't seen it, but it's been there. It's been a reaction in you. Has that ever happened to you? Do you know why that happens? Because it's a build-up of stress that was in here that you didn't deal with at the time. So human beings, we're not perfect. We don't live forever. Nothing works perfectly. But we definitely have more power than we think we do. And that is what we spoke about yesterday. We looked at this yesterday. I don't know how many of you remember this, but we looked at this is you. This is the I. And when you get stressed, something happens. It's either a thought or something happens external to you. The way you process it, many of you take it as a threat. Whoa, whoa. Are you threatening me? You don't like me? Is something wrong with me? You take it as a threat. Back off. You might not show that, but inside that's how you, whoa. I'm threatened, man. What's wrong with you? Stay away. Or you take it as a challenge. Come on. It's a challenge. If something happens that's stressful for you, you can use, it's one of the most powerful energies that you can use. I'd write this down, energy. Write the word down, energy, and think about what can spiral your energy up and what can spiral your energy down. If you use stress in a positive way, you can do great things. If you take the stress and then on top of that, you think the stress is bad for you, then you're going to compound it and make it 10 times worse. It's a powerful, powerful energy. And my challenge to you is when you feel stressed about something, this is what my mum taught me so well. You know, my mum taught me so well, and as we all know, it's my mum's birthday today. She taught me so well, what can you do? What can you do? What is in your control? The things that aren't in your control. She taught me also how to worry about the things that aren't in my control. But nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. But I'll give you a classic example of this once again. So many of you know, and I've got my wife's dad sitting in the room with me here today, Jerry Bradley. Many of you know the story of what happened a few years ago with Hannah having a brain tumor, not being given very long to live. Can you imagine how stressful that was? I mean, can you imagine for everyone involved? Can you imagine what that must be like? And maybe some of you have been in a situation like that in your life before, where something has happened which has caused you huge amount of stress. Is mainly fear. That's, you know, we think, where does stress come from? You're stressed because you're frightened. You're angry because you're frightened. You're depressed because you're frightened. This is my opinion, but it's not just based on my opinion. It's based on research, psychological, research has been done over the last 20 to 30 years that most negative emotions come from fear. But I use that fear, I use that stress to do something, to do so many things, even though you wouldn't have believed the amount of obstacles there were along the way. You wouldn't have, I've forgotten most of them because there were way too many, but I just kept going, use the stress in some ways. By the way, you can use stress to meditate, you know that? But by the way, if you get stressed, and this is a great thing to say to yourself, is rather than I'm stressed, you can say I'm excited. I say this with a lot of golfers I work with, who are standing over the ball and go, oh my God, I'm really stressed. I'm really worried. I say, why don't you just say, I'm excited? You want to transform the energy of stress, change the way you view it. Because if someone is stressed out, the worst thing you can say to them is this, hey, calm down. Calm down. You know why? Stress is up here and calm is here. And you want them to go there? Forget about it. You want to use that energy to go and do something. The worst thing you want to do is ruminate. Ruminate is what cows do. They eat grass, they throw it up, then they eat it again, they throw it up and they eat it again, they throw it up and they eat it again, they throw it up, mainly 5 times. Rather than I'm feeling stressed, I'm going to do something with it. What am I going to do? Well, you've got 5 seconds.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thunderbirds are go. 5.
It's to use it. Otherwise, you'll just go over and over and over and over, and you'll never go. The definition of insanity actually is doing the same things over and over and over again and getting nowhere. So stress is always going to be there. You live in a world where it's, you want to get stressed. I'll meet you on Monday morning at 8:30, Waterloo Station. Let's get stressed. You'll just feel the stress of everyone else who's doing things that they often don't want to do, and the stress of the most valuable thing that you own being threatened, which is your space. Your space makes a difference. You make a difference. But rather than looking for the difference to be made outside of you, you need to learn to make the difference in here. And I know many of you do that. And, this is what we all have to get better at. But it's up to you. Ultimately, it is your choice. You always have a choice. My challenge to all of you that are watching this is become more curious, become more excited, become more open to learn about what is in my control and what isn't in my control. So once again, recently I've had a little bit of a challenging time rather than a threatening time because my wife she was swallowing and basically a gland kept coming up and then going down. And then a week last Sunday, it came up and it didn't go down. So since then, she's really not been able to eat. She can swallow, but she can't eat. And you can imagine that for someone who's had what she's had in the past, it's very easy to feel threatened by it rather than thinking, okay, what can we do about this? And once again, because my mum taught me so well, wasn't going to settle for having to wait and wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. No, going to use it. And we've had to go through a few obstacles. But yesterday, privately, we went to go and see a radiologist who did what do you call it? What's that word called? An ultrasound on it. And it is a stone. It is a stone in here. Don't worry. You don't have to feel responsible or start offering solutions to this. Or you might have a solution, but don't worry. We're way ahead of the game. And this is something which might have to be taken out. But the reason I'm telling you this is I use that stress to do something. I definitely wouldn't use it to not do anything. Now, okay, I'm fortunate enough to be able to do something about that situation. And many times in our life, maybe there is no hope. Maybe there is nothing that people can do because I don't know. I don't know everything, but I've definitely seen a few things in my life. So I dare you to become more aware. That's what My 365 is all about. Look, there's the I. The M in the My 365 is your mindfulness. In fact, for many of you still, it's me looking out for you as your coach, showing up here every single day just for you, to help you get better at looking after yourself, because most people have never done this before. And if they have tried to work on themselves, they haven't done it for very long. They paid lip service to it. It's like going to the gym or working with a coach. Most people do it for just a little bit, and then they give up and they go back to what they were doing before. And if you want to do that, that's great. But if you have aspirations of greatness, if you have aspirations of being a better version and leaving a mark on this earth, then you've come to the right place. Because I'm going to continue to show up here inspiring people who really do need to be inspired, because this, as we've said it before, this is what you were put on this earth to do. This is you, the I. This is your uniqueness. This is your talent. What were you put on this earth to do? And by the way, next week is going to blow some of you away in what we're going to start looking at. It's all about your values. I know we're only on Wednesday, but I'm excited. I get so excited when I see the growth in people. And what I've seen here over the last couple of years is just, it blows me away. And you see these people all over the world who have decided to take ownership, stop blaming, and deciding I am in control. I'm the decision maker in my life. So today, how many times do you feel threatened? And how many times can you take the same situation and go, no, I'm challenged by this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And remember, when you feel that you're going to do something, you got 5 seconds. Why?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thunderbirds are go.
So those of you that think this is a joke, and those of you that think that you've heard this before, I really don't care, because most of you don't use this enough. You have 5 seconds. When you come up with an idea, you got 5 seconds to act upon that idea. Because if you don't, that is where the stress will come. The hesitation will come. The self-doubt will come. That ruminates. That builds up. That builds stress. To become the person that you want to be, you know it's all about one thing, right? It's about action. Action to move you in the direction that you want to go. You know? So I don't really feel that I've got much more to say right now, apart from, I don't know about you, but I've been up since 3:30 this morning. You know, I normally get up at 4, but I'm excited right now about what I'm doing. So I just want to get better and better and better and better and better. I'm not saying you should get up at 3:30 in the morning, especially if you don't go to bed until 12 o'clock, because that ain't enough sleep for 99.9% of the population, which will then cause stress. See, I'm stressed right now, but I'm using it. I love it. I thrive off it. I believe it's a good thing, but I had to meditate after I did my yoga this morning. Do you think I felt like doing my yoga this morning? Yoga can be quite uncomfortable when you get in certain poses, but I know how much better I feel for doing it. So I 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 on myself. I 5, 4, 3, my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 myself out of bed this morning. I 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 myself before I start here to give you the best of me. I'm thinking, right, time to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm on. A 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. My meditation this morning. A 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 this morning. When I looked in the kitchen and I could see there's a couple of things that I could eat, but I know those things aren't the best things for me to eat. So I just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and thought, no, I'm not going to do that. Just have a glass of water. It's all about our choices. Our choices can move us in the direction that we want to go, or our thoughts and feelings and emotions can take us where we don't want to go. The choice is yours. It's my mum's birthday today. Happy birthday, happy birthday. I can see that loads of you have been making comments this morning, and please forgive me because I can't read all of your comments. But I appreciate every single one of you. So thank you for joining me. Take a few moments to, what's your biggest learning from what I've just shared with you right now? And this is, again, something you could write down. What have you just taken away? What's the one thing that stands out the most from what I just said to you? And you should tell someone about that today. You know, tell other people about it. Share it. What are you learning? We are here to grow. We are here to grow. And that's what many of you are doing here. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you tomorrow for day 4 on conquering stress. And like I said, I probably shouldn't have called it that. If I was renaming it again, I would say how to use stress in a more powerful way. Have a great day. Much love. It's time to speak to my mum. All the best. Ta-ta for now. Oops. Actually, hang on a second. Come back. Let's do a quick summary. Love you guys on Instagram. Thank you for watching. Very much appreciate you. End it. And then we're going to share it. Got to do it. Just a 20-second summary here. Got to be consistent. Sometimes I almost forget. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So this is day 3 on conquering stress, and what we've been looking at today, apart from the fact that it's my mum's birthday, we have also been looking at how you need to control the controllables and let the things you can't control go away. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Right. Or should I say left? Have a great day, everyone. Much love. We are